afternoon, everybody. Dignitaries on the dais and my friends. Javed sir talked about that many people started phoning him because normally the CEs are supposed to have a दिव्य दृष्टि. दिव्य दृष्टि म्हणजे काळा कागद असला तरी त्याच्या पलीकडे काय ते दिसते. And my further eminent speaker, Mr. Yamaji Mandir, the big name in editorial, they have a दूरदृष्टी. म्हणजे आपल्याला जे दिसत नाही ते त्यांना दिसत असतं. इतके आहे का? In between the दिव्य दृष्टी and the दूरदृष्टी, this is the banker standing. There are a few points which is Javed flew, and which also I will deliberate. But I think there are 5 questions everybody has in the mindset of a common man. I am a common man. One is whether this is the right decision. Second is whether the timing is right. Third is whether it has been implemented properly or not. Fourth is what is going to impact it? What is the impact? And the fifth is, are we going to develop this country at all after this thing? In 5 minutes time, I'll deal with this thing and then comes the banking part. First of all, whether it is the right decision or not. I will say none of us, frankly speaking, with due respect to the professors in finance here, many of them may lose their jobs now. Because after 8th November, 100 crores of Indians have become financial experts. And they may come for an interview next time. My humble submission is that nobody is qualified to really discuss this for the reason, how do you know what will happen if this is not done? Say, नाही झालं तर काय होणार? कुठं असणार? 1. 2. Secondly, is there any RBI governor or anybody who can tell me how much black money is there in the market? That implies again, no. Frankly, black money, there are 2 main sources. One is of course corruption, as the organizer says, which is tremendous. Corruption is of 3 types. He gave 5 types, but I will say higher level corruption, a middle level corruption, and a lower level corruption. In fact, whatever is the lower level corruption, that is because many people are not able to satisfy their basic needs at all by way of their salary. It comes back to the bank or it comes back to the system. Middle level corruption normally goes into housing and all those things, where I buy a flat of suppose 70 lakhs of rupees, I have to create 10 lakhs rupees in cash and then give it to otherwise I don't get a flat. That's the middle level corruption. The top level corruption goes into the walls and the bedrooms of the different people. That doesn't come in. Okay. Another important, what are the investment avenues for the corrupted money? I will say investment avenues for corrupted money. One is again real estate. Second is in cash. Third is the terrorist. Fourth is Swiss bank. And the fifth is, I just forgot it, but anyway, it's there. Now what happens? Many people ask the question, by doing this, whether all corrupt money has come? Somebody says 14% has come. Somebody says 22%. Who knows what percent? But my question is very simple. Should we wait for 100% to come on even for 14%? That's the question. I think even if 14% has come, it's worthwhile. Secondly, if you take a history, many people have spoken about it. Consecutive 4 governments and movements, there are the people who have been mulling over this concept of demonetization. Yes or no? Okay. But earlier 3 governments could not do it because they did not have a resolve. Not that intelligence was lacking. In any country decision, there are 2 things required. One is the knowledge. Second is the decision-making authority and capacity. Many people say that it's autocratic decision. I won't say it's autocratic decision because I will say it's it's like person-driven democracy. In India, many times there is an individual-driven democracy. In Congress time, Indira Gandhi was very powerful. Now Mr. Modi is powerful. There is nothing wrong. The difference between person-driven democracy and the autocratic democracy, we need to differentiate. It's a bold decision, as Javed said. Somebody has to take that decision to take it forward. One more important aspect is that yesterday I shared with Mr. Yamaji Martin. We have been friends for last more than 30 years. it is not a development tool, it's a corrective tool. Like I tell you, if there is he said it's a cancer, I say it's a heart disease. If you have to operate the heart, there has to be one cut on the chest. You can't ask question, you have to operate heart, why chest is being cut? It's a cut on the chest, which is happening in pain. And whatever is happening, there are a lot of trouble there, as you said. Lot of sections are under trouble. There have been great painful lines in the banking queue. Okay, but at the same time, it's like after a surgery, there is something called recovery chamber, where patient is not full out of trouble or out of pain. So maybe that trouble right now are going on. The main problem is that if we are not able to take further reforms, then this may become a problem. So there is no success or failure of this particular demonetization. That's my personal opinion. It's a tool. It's like a tool. Like, for example, everybody, this mic is a tool. I'm speaking to you. But in many assemblies, this is used as a weapon. You know that. So every tool is for the people, the way they use it, that will happen. The way they want to use it, that will happen. So, frankly speaking, it's a bold decision and we need to move forward. One thing is sure, now it has happened. We can go back. So let us not think of what is going back. Let us think what we can go back. And now what is the impact now? Black money has come into India. What is the impact on the banking system? I will deliberate more on that. Okay. One is that a lot of money has come into the bank. The figure was something like 17 lakh crores. Okay. And in between there is a big cash shortage. To my knowledge, it has been created with purpose. Many people say where we prepared. I think too much of preparation for this event could have leaked out the news and the entire seriousness would have been lost. So it was a risk being taken, and it is a work for us to take also at this point of time. Now what to do about this money? Already there was a great liquidity with the bank. And now there is a further liquidity in the banking system. So what will happen? There are two things which are connected to this. As sir says, bankers ask you who is a good borrower, and they do not know who is a good borrower. And there is always a dilemma. Bank wants a good borrower, and the good people don't get the money from the bank. The dilemma continues. I agree with you. Though I am an ex-banker. Okay. Now, how to distribute money to the rightful people is very important. Now, this is going to be a challenge for which banks will face three prone attacks on their profitability. One is huge amount of money in the deposits where they have to pay interest. Two is there are hardly any new fresh borrowers who can borrow from the bank in a remunerative way, because all the great borrowers ask for all the concessions. My bosses used to ask me many times, you don't earn for the bank. I said, how? Today it's very simple. When the book for proposal is there, you will say give 20 concessions. When the bank proposal comes, your principal is in doubt. Where from you earn money? Is one. And secondly, the third important problem is NPAs are growing, the provisioning is also at a great rate. For coming March 2017 balance sheet, these three aspects are going to impact or affect the balance sheet and profitability like anything, which is the real worry today. And coming to NPAs. Now, because the business has slowed down, GDP has slowed down, the cycles have got broken, definitely the banks will come under pressure. But I will say, even before demonetization, last 2 to 3 years, NPAs are growing at a very fast rate for basically two reasons. One is global recession and also Indian economic recession. Second is there is a cycle of delayed debtors by various parties in the market. I know at least 20 good companies whose dues are pending with the top companies of the India for 6 months and 9 months and 12 months also. Now, even though those top companies are not paid for 6 months or 9 months or 12 months, the 90 days bracket for account becoming NPA continues. Not only that, If you look at many government and non-government of contracts of very less people, infrastructure people are there. People are constructing bridges and roads and tanks and whatnot. I know a company which is into electrical reinstallation. Suppose 4-lane highway is becoming 6-lane highway for 200 kilometers. Their job is to pick up all the infrastructure and take it on the 6-lane highway. The problem is that for 1 or 2 or 3 months, even the bidding is not done, though the work is done. In this scenario, when even government payments are not coming in time, where should they go? This cost, that's why I'm saying, a lot of other reforms are needed to support what we have done today as a demonetization. Demonetization, as per se, is not a bad tool at all. It's for me to use it again. I always ask in various forums, I go to different bankers forums mostly. Many of, I think more than 200 senior bankers beyond AGM level, I have asked them, what is the percentage of NPA across the country? They say around 7% or 8%. Or some people say 10%. I asked them, what is the percentage of fraud into it? They say less than 1%. People are unanimous on it. That means at least 9% of the people whose accounts have become NPA are good people. And that also means 90% people who have taken money are good people. If 99% people are good, is it the real grave situation? Or we need to put systems in place so we can deal with this properly. Today the tragedy is that if the account becomes NPA, suppose there is a company with 10 years of background, 12 years of background, 15 years of background. But because of this global recession, if the company's account becomes NPA for 8 to 9 days, it's a black spot. Next 5 years, he doesn't get any further expense. So entire 15 years of good background also doesn't help him, even if his account has become NPA for 1 year's time. This system somewhere we need to re-examine. I don't blame the bankers also for the reason, if they do something good for him, and after 1 year if that account becomes NPA, CBI inquiry will start. So this dilemma of how to deal with 9% of the people whose account has become NPA or good has to be sorted out as a post-demonetization exercise. And how to help, that there is new scheme again. There is something called external rating. I think many of the students also may be knowing. Kritir, Ikra, others. Now the ratings are very simple. AAA, AA, A, BBB, BB, B, C and D. D minus D. Okay? Now, technically going, many bankers have stopped accepting proposals of the companies which are BB rated. Because they have to make a provision of 150% against that. Against the land. BBB, they have to make 100% provision. Now, because banks' capital has got eroded out of NPA provisioning, they are avoiding the proposals of BB companies. I find at least 100 good companies around Pune who are into BB rated companies and who can easily go into BB. But they won't go there because that time that support which is required will not come. Unless that support comes, the growth of the economy will not happen, which is also the objective of the foundation of demonetization. This is what I am saying, a lot of further reforms are required. We need to deal with that. How to do it? Ways will have to be found out. Bankers have further challenge. So one is the NPA challenge which bankers need to deal. Further challenge is distribution of cash. It is going to be again a big challenge. Right now there is a 2,000 rupees note and maybe 500 rupees note. He was saying the further cash note, the corruption also we can't stop it. I agree with you. Many people ask the question, even the new note stocks have been there with the people. That means the bankers are doing a fraudulent transaction. Even some say RBI people are involved into it. I can tell you, I'm not trying to say take their side, but in the country of 125 crore people, at least 0.10% people will always going to be of that nature. We can't avoid it. We can't accept it, but we can't avoid it also at the same time. So, if you compare the total population of this country, number of people who have inherited monies are not even 100, which is a too small figure. But we discuss 100 on more number of people. But let me also tell you that the bankers have really rose to the challenge of exchange of notes. Hours and hours together they are spent. They have not come home for almost many Sundays. And this crunch situation was created purposefully so that unless we compel the people to go to technology, they cannot do it. I'll give you 3 instances. You go to any cow gully in Pune. I'm using this word because it's popular among students. Cow gully. Okay. You will find Paytm acceptance embedded everywhere. Right? Had the cash connect not been in the picture, this would not happen. I give you guarantee on this. Number 1. Number 2, my car is washed every day morning. So he came to collect money. And I did not have a really cash of 100 rupees. He told me, sir, give me an account, I'll tell you IFSC code. 6 months back, I can tell you frankly, 90% graduates will not know what is IFSC code. And last month, for the first time, I paid my bill of milk also online. If a milkman, if a car washer, and if a cow man can start using the technology, I think there is not far off when all of us will become very comfortable using the technology. The safety problem as always remains. That has to be dealt with. It is not we are foolproof today, but things have started in the right way. In my childhood, let me tell you, I was in Karaj. Okay. I used to know the names of the people who had the telephone at home in the town and who had the car at home by name. And he had 5 rupees for telephone. And that those days, my dream used to be, I should have a telephone at home, I should have a car at home, and I should have a television at home. This used to be the dream, because that time if there is a match, you have to go to somebody's place. But today these things are, in fact today the servants of many people send an SMS, I am not coming today. So they can use the mobile, they will learn to use the digital transactions also. What is important? Either we have to create a desire or a motivation, which is a very difficult thing in a very comfortable situation. See, I tell you, I always ask the people after my session, are you properly confused? And they say yes, then I say I am successful. Do you know why? The thinking starts only after confusion. If I clarify everything, you will stop thinking. So, I think, as others have said, the security problems remain, but things will start flowing online. They will take care of it. I remember the days 10, 15 years back, when there was an ATM, the patient used to throw it on my face. We don't want this ATM. Then I had to conduct a lot of meetings with the pensioners and tell them, if you don't use the ATM card, I have no problem, you have to stand up for 3 hours. Such even banks will have to take initiative in educating the people how to use the technology also. Why? Banks will have to first start training how to educate the people also. But this can happen. Maybe the organization like yours can give a big hand on this. It could be a possible future jobs for them. That educating the rural people into using the technology. And the third big challenge which the bankers will face now, is to really rewrite their credit policies, I will say, to support a lot of new types of stand-ups and startups and everything. As of now, credit policy of majority of the banks are still with that working capital cycle and all those things. The working capital cycle of all the companies are being changed. That has to be redone. Sir said he used to get working capital by way of delaying checks. He now used to pay by net. At the same time, my view on this, sir, with due respect is, even he will get the online payment. When he says, I get some delay with the check, maybe his checks are online somewhere after 15 days. Maybe after 1 year or 2 years, as you say, it will match. And maybe the new working capital cycles will have to promote it. I will touch upon only 2 more points and then stop. More eminent speaker is there. See, the purpose is that, Mr. Sir, there should be star speaker. When the star speaker is at the beginning, people come in time. And the starting is last, people wait up to last time. Okay. I'll touch only 2 points now. lot of reforms are needed in terms of recovery mechanisms and legal mechanisms from the government side. Even though DRT is there, securitization is there, okay, still I can tell you, I can bet you, and show me the plan and I'll show how the 4 or 5 years time can be taken. I'm telling you, I can bet you that it's so bad. Somewhere it needs to be come to force. A lot of legal reforms are required in terms of recovery mechanisms. And the last but not the least, all of us as a citizens of this country have to stand up to something. See, tomorrow, even after demonetization, if I have taken a decision to take my bride, even though I have got 1 car, 1 flat, 2 acres and everything, there has to be a difference between selfishness and greed. There is nothing wrong with being selfish. It's only because all of us are selfish, this strong development is there. But we need to understand where the selfishness will get converted into greed. Unless we stop that, no effort can save anybody for that matter. If all of us continue to, if all of us try to control the greediness, that will be great. If the greed takes over the selfishness, then the demonetization may be a wrong decision. Rather, I will not say decision, but it will not give you any. The moment we don't want to use it, any decision is bad. If you want to use anything good, any decision is good. It's a tool given in our hands. Let us see how fortunately, all the citizens have responded to this call in a different manner. Media has been really asking very nasty questions to many people. But many of the smallest and smallest people are not succumbed to the pressure of giving criticism. See, criticize the people is a very natural tendency. But fortunately, the Indian population has controlled that natural tendency in a very good fashion, and therefore, demonetization as a step, as a corrective step is great. We must congratulate our Prime Minister for taking that bold decision. And what is most important, he himself came on the TV channel and said that you may feel a pinch. मुझे उसका दुख होता है. The very fact is that I feel about it, that's enough for the Indian population to go with it. Let us do further. Let us all join hands together and go ahead. Now, do the 50%. Thank you very much.